Hi, it's Kim McGrath from Expressions of the Universe with your October highlights and the stars and cards for all zodiac signs. And I have maybe 10 minutes worth of energy left. As some of you know, I have been sick for 6 weeks, which started with COVID and then mutated into a whole bunch of other stuff, finally resting in my sinuses and my ear for the past 3 or 4 weeks. It's been pretty awful. I'm now on a new medicine, went to the doctor for the fourth time, hoping that the oral steroids and prednisone is going to push me over the edge. Big shout out to Tracy Goodwin in Scotland for doing Reiki on me every single night while I am sleeping for the last 21 days. That's 3 weeks, carrying me basically from new moon to this most recent full moon in Aries. And so, big shout out to her. Also to all of you that reached out to me and checked on me during this time. Let's just get to this. This video will not be as in-depth as most of my other videos. My big focus is on pulling cards for all of you and just pointing out what the highlights of October are going to be. Then I'm going to go take a nap and try to heal up so that I can get ready for the next moon cycle, the next new moon. And then, of course, we have the eclipses are coming. The eclipses. And I did put out a blog for the full moon in Aries. I just couldn't get it together to do a video and pull cards. I apologize, but I did post a couple links to previous harvest moon videos. And if you're thinking I don't look that sick, it's because makeup. It took all of my energy just to do my hair and makeup to do this video because I am vain and I won't come on camera. Um, but anyway, let's get to this. And I'll share my screen with you just so that we can get to the stars and cards. Keep this short, sweet, simple for all of you and for me. All right. So October highlights. So when October starts, the whole month of October is Halloween for me. I I love October. The veil is thinning. We have easier contact with our loved ones and guides from the other side. And so yeah, my favorite. Here are the October highlights for the month. Um, as you can see, there is, it looks like an easy month, but it is not. One of the biggest things that I saw even coming into the end of the summer, coming into the autumn, were major financial and economic challenges in the astrology. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I would just be very wary and mindful about what you're spending your money on, how you're spending your money, where you're investing, or don't. I'm recommending don't invest or move your money into safer sectors. We're in for the long haul, kind of through 2026 until we enter the Aries vortex and new beginnings start to crop up. This October energy with Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn and then Mars entering Scorpio, its home, one of its home signs, that would be a square. And it is very warlike energy. Is that a square? Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn. No, it's a sextile, but there's still that energy. I feel like Mars next to the South Node when that squares Pluto in Capricorn. That's very warlike, volatile, anger. Um, there are a lot of indications too of earthquakes, fires, Venus and Uranus, both at 22 degrees, Venus in Leo at 22, Uranus in Taurus at 22 is a square, and it's earth and land. It's also money. So there's a lot of volatility, not only in the weather, but in the financial sectors, in political sectors. So try and stay in your highest vibe that you possibly can and avoid watching the news, mass media. Yeah. So moving on from that, October 14th, we have the new moon and solar eclipse in Libra. And I'll come back and do more in depth. I'm hoping I'm well by then so that I can really give you the video that I am like that I normally do. See, I can't even talk, but that's why I did this graphic of the eclipse. Excuse me, October 22nd, Mercury enters Virgo. The next day, Sun enters Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Even though we just basically entered Libra season. So happy birthday to the Libras. I know that I really kind of missed out over the last 6 weeks. October 28th, full moon and lunar eclipse in Taurus. That could be a little volatile. And then, of course, October 31st, Samhain and All Hallows Eve. And then we have Dia de los Muertos coming, starting the following day, the Day of the Dead. And then here are your stars and cards. I promised that I was going to keep it as short and sweet as possible. So with October starting, I wanted to bring out the Halloween deck by Stacey DeMarco, but I know that I have it packed away. I don't have the energy to go digging through the garage or the attic to find out where I have it packed. So I'm going to use Queen of the Moon Oracle, also by Stacey DeMarco. And then once I'm feeling better in a few days, I'll pull out that Halloween deck. I love using it every Halloween time once October kicks in. But this is a gorgeous deck. I've used it before. And I just seem to really love Stacey DeMarco's decks. The Halloween deck I've had since it came out for a very long time. Now, I will be using the guidebook and reading from that only because I don't really feel that good. If I do pick up any kind of intuitive message outside of the guidebook, then yeah, I'm going to share it with you, but I'd rather trust it to the expert today since I'm still under the weather. So let's start with Aries. You want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, and maybe anywhere that you have a stellium or a cluster of planets in another sign. Also, listen to your loved ones' cards. See how they go together. All right, Aries, you have the lunar god. It is the masculine. We have a lot of glare on that. And so this is saying it is time to step forward and lead. Be the leader in your own life. You have more power than you think. It is time to formally learn more. Enroll in a course or learn a new skill. Offer your protection to someone weaker than yourself. Take steps to improve your health and vitality. And we just had the full moon in Aries, so it's brand new starts that actually got planted at the vernal or autumnal equinox back in March. And that was at 0 degrees of Aries. And that moon that vernal equinox and new moon that we had back then is going to play such an integral role for all of us in the coming years when we enter the Aries vortex at 0 degrees of Aries. There will be, I believe, Neptune and Uranus moving into Aries, which is huge shifts, 2026. I know that sounds like a very long time away, but we will start to feel that. And I'll be back with more on that, within the next year at least, because we're going to be ramping up to those new beginnings. But the full moon that we just had was at 6 degrees. So we're taking the seeds that we planted in March, applying it to this full moon. There are a lot of things that we need to be getting rid of, but Aries, this is a great start for you. Okay. Oh, and I will say it's card number 42, and that talks about finding your tribe, getting in touch with your emotions, because that will equal material abundance for you. Taurus, suns, risings, moons. Oh, so you have the anchor card for the entire box, card 41. And I swear I shuffled these really well. And this is Queen of the Moon, and it is about sovereignty. Pretty interesting. Sovereignty, finding your autonomy. This is saying you have sovereignty over your own life. Let's get that in there without the glare. Okay, how's that? You have sovereignty over your own life. Act with grace and confidence. You have the ability to unite disparate people and views should you choose to do so. The buck stops with you. You are powerful, so act like it. This is like one of the oldest forms of the feminine divine, and we are wrapping up a huge 2-year cycle of that Taurus energy. Uranus will stay in Taurus for a little bit longer. Jupiter will be in there until mid next year. And so during that time, it's like finding out who you are, stepping into your power, and owning it. This is card 41. This is about finding your tribe, opening up to your creativity, and the one that is about sovereignty, autonomy, the individual, the self, the I am. And it equals a 5. So I would expect Taurus's, suns, risings, moon, I'm in there. Big changes with the 5 energy. Big changes need to come, whether it's in your thinking, body, mind, and spirit. In somewhere in your body, spiritually, things need to change. Now is a great time for you to be dumping that coming out of the full moon energy. Gemini. All right, so we have the egg moon, and it is about trust. Part number 32 to me speaks about divine connection, getting in touch with your emotions, and also making some big changes. So let me see what this says. Egg moon. He uses different names for the moons than I am accustomed to here in my sector, in my part of the world. It says trust yourself, develop self-trust, and joy will follow. You can rely on your own capabilities. Begin to plan carefully for the future. Egg moon, so eggs always symbolize fertility. They symbolize good luck and material wealth. And I'm just looking to see if I missed anything. I'm not going to read the whole 2 pages of this, but it says self-trust is a full acceptance of the self. As accepting oneself becomes easier, thus self-trust will begin to shine. This gives great momentum to anything we choose to tackle to do. I love that. So, Geminis, are you having some self-doubts? I mean, I think me as a Gemini sun, I've been doubting my body's ability to heal itself, like, to keep me alive. I felt like I was dying, but thank goodness. Um, but yeah, I've had a lot of doubts over the last couple of months. But this has been very eye-opening and awakening and very telling, very good lesson for me for sure. Cancer, suns, risings, moons. This is the waxing gibbous moon and its boundaries. Cancers, that I think is always a big theme. It's card number 12. So that talks to me about trusting the self, getting in touch with the emotions. Maybe you've been a little too emotional, making more divine connections. But look at the symbolism here. She's putting a bubble around herself for protection. What does this say? The waxing gibbous. But this is waxing gibbous number 4, I believe. So there are several waxing gibbous moons. Wait, 12. No, waxing gibbous 3? Waxing gibbous 3. Boundaries. It says, judging what you need and what you don't need allows you to place healthy boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. Judge what is healthy and right for you with clarity and care. It is time for you to simplify. I'm going to give you a little affirmation. It says, I can say yes or no with authenticity and clarity. Yeah, this is interesting. Even though I don't have anything in Cancer, it says in times of sickness or in the presence of very strong emotions, such as grief, we often naturally simplify. We cut out all the extras that are too hard or too complex. So that's really part of what the theme for the month of October that I was picking up intuitively. And it was about focusing on the most important task. Okay, Leo, we have resistance, Leo. I'm a Leo moon, so maybe this relates to me. And she's grabbing a big chunk of the earth. And so that kind of symbolizes health to me. It's a waning crescent number 2, resistance. Card number 25, emotions, changes, sending you on your path. Interesting. Big changes, that's for sure. Stop putzing around with that. Sorry. Trying to keep this in a flow. Okay, here we go. All right, so Leo, familiarize yourself with how resistance manifests for you. The overt and the covert. This resonates with me. If you continue to have doors slammed in your face, turn around, there will normally be an open door. Procrastination is just another kind of fear. Move forward with confidence and persistence. However, so what comes to me, if you have doors being slammed in your face, and are you pushing against that door? Like, being persistent is one thing, but knowing when something is being withheld from you for protection or because the universe knows better than we do what is best for us. Um, and also, what I'm hearing is like, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, Leo, and you're getting the same results, then it's time for you to do something different, do it in a different way, because that's just insanity. That's why I've been so open to so many different modalities for healing for myself, because I'm like, all right, if this isn't working, let me shift and try this. I mean, like you name it, I've done it, I've tried it. So stop resisting and go with the flow. All right. Virgo. What are we, Virgo? 39. We have for Virgo the beaver moon, and it is about creation. I love that. Um, Fantastic. And the beaver moon, I think, comes in, I want to say, like in Capricorn season, like that's the full moon, maybe in December or November. It says you can create your own destiny, be industrious. Every creature on earth creates. You should welcome the process of creation, save money and time, and have a reserve. Card number 39 is talking about your connections, your path. Something is ending, something is being created and opening up. It is leading to you finding your individuality, your autonomy, your sovereignty, in addition to tapping into what makes you feel emotionally well, will lead you to a better connection. Um, there's a good reason for the saying, busy as a beaver, for the beaver is truly an industrious animal. This is saying to me for the Virgos, you really need to keep your focus on one thing. I feel like for a lot of Virgos, the focus has been way off, Mercury retrograde, still in its shadow in Virgo. Um, so yeah, it has been quite difficult, I would say, for Virgos to maintain that focus. There's been like a monkey mind and diversions. Like you're supposed to be doing this, but then, oh, look at that shiny thing over there. They're saying it's time for you to reel it back in and start creating, making things happen. Libra, you have realization, the waxing crescent, card number 3. This is about who are you connected to? Who are you not connected to? Are you tapping in to that greater divine grid? Okay. Libras, realization, waxing crescent 1. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is very important at this time. You're in the beginning of a very powerful process, but you have to be very self-aware of what your role in your situation is and make sure you're not overpowering the role or underpowering it. So, and I hope for the Libras, you understand what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Already hitting my limit. Um, Aventurine is a good crystal for the Libras right now because this will help to get you launched. Knowing ourselves more completely enables us to accept ourselves more readily and to dare to love exactly who we really are. Libra, Scorpio. Oh, it's the wolf moon and it's about hunger. And Scorpios, you will be coming to the end of a cycle and getting ready to begin a new. That wolf moon that happens in the winter here in the northern hemisphere. There's the snow moon, the wolf moon, then the snow moon, or the snow moon, the wolf moon. I don't know. I'm not thinking clearly. It is card 29, talks about your emotions and one path ending, another path beginning, and it equals to an 11, which is a master number, you know, the 1111. And so I would think 1111, November 11th, will be very powerful. This also really harkens directly to the emotions. How you feel is what you're going to be creating. Or, so it's like your thoughts and emotions could be causing you to feel hungry, to be feeling the lack. But I feel like there will be a big shift for the Scorpios coming this year. It says, feed the good and hope within you. There will always be a lean part of the cycle. Prosperity will come. Do not let your hunger blindly dictate your actions entirely. Amazonite is a great crystal for you. Um, and this makes me think about, you know, the story of boy that asks the grandfather um, about, you know, good and evil. And he tells him the story about the two wolves. And at the end of the story, if you haven't heard it, most people have, um, talks about the one good wolf, the one evil wolf. And the boy asks at the end, well, who wins? And the grandfather tells him, whichever wolf you feed. So if you feed the good, that's what's going to come. You feed the fear, the negativity, the anger, the grief. Well, that's where the hunger comes from. Sagittarius, you have the patience card. Well, that's a little difficult for any Sagittarius that I know. This is the green corn moon. It is card number 36. And this is saying, like, okay, you've made your hopes, dreams, wishes out to the universe. Like, where is it? Like, why is it not showing up? Don't worry, divine timing. Um, and when it comes, it will change your path forever. I will say that. So let's see what it has to say. Enjoy the journey, not just the destination. The time has come to learn patience and avoid the lure of instant gratification. Isn't that the truth for all of us? Slow down, take your time. Things are happening. You just can't see it yet. Be loving and patient with yourself, your body, mind, and spirit. That's a great message for all of us. Okay, Capricorn, you have blossoming. It is card 33, another master number. And what can I say? This is like ascended masters are all around the Capricorns. Big changes, as we all know, are happening for Capricorns. And there will be finally a lift for the Capricorns come next year. So let me get to that page. This is the blossoming moon, the flower moon. It's about blossoming, and this occurs in May. Do not give up. You have planned for this. Take no take no notice of what others think or say about you. Open and rise. Someone around you may be jealous of your success. Mark your victories. That's pretty beautiful. This says, I joyfully blossom and feel no fear. All right, Aquarius. Speaking of fear, Aquarius, um, this is card 11, another master number. And I just spoke about the 11. It's about me and me. I think maybe this is telling me obsession of thoughts about the self. So that's pretty ominous looking. Uh, 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 uh. Okay. Waxing gibbous 2. Fear. The time for courage is here. Fear is only useful if it teaches you something. You must examine whether your fears are old or new, useful or unhelpful. Fear blocks flow. And I'm going to leave it at that. And last but not least, Pisces. It is peace. Card number 28 equals to a 10, talks immediately about the self, putting up boundaries in order to protect your emotions and your creativity and abundance. This is waning crescent, peace. What number? 28. Sorry, fumbling. All right. Peace of mind is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Refuse drama and do not freely engage with people who use drama as a weapon. Stop fighting, allow yourself to rest for a while. When we let what we no longer need go, we make room for peace. We make room for a lot of things. Um, Choose to create and hold peace. Allow this ripple effect out to spill out into the world. All right, let me just make sure that I didn't miss anybody by counting 12 cards. And 11, 12, just to make sure. All right, so I will be back with a proper video, hopefully within the next week, going into the next new moon, which would be the new moon, the, the new moon and solar eclipse in Libra. So that's on the 14th of October. I'll be back hopefully before then and talk about all the different things that I'm seeing, hopefully, in the charts. I don't know how much energy I'll have. If you have questions for the upcoming season, send me a message. I will respond. I will jot them down. Thank you so much for being here, watching, listening. I love your questions and all your comments. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Have a great October.